Hey y'all, Billy Thompson here. If you're looking to fix up your truck, figure out what that weird noise is, or just learn a thing or two about keeping your car running right, you've come to the right place. I keep it simple, straight up, and hands-on. Go ahead and give this video a like. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And let's get to work. Enough jawing, let's dive in.
Electronically controlled transmissions, the output shaft speed sensor, OSS, is located at the end of the transmission in front of the drive shafts or drive axle. The output shaft speed read can be used to determine when to shift, as well as the torque converter timing and the electronic pressure control inside the transmission. The OSS sensor is also normally used to display the speedometer reading, so the data it contains may not be correct. In some cars, the OSS sensor is in line with the transmission fluid temperature (TFT) sensor. If the TFT sensor or the associated wiring is faulty, the OSS sensor may also malfunction. Therefore, if there are other errors associated with the TFT sensor with the code P077D, look for a possible problem with any of these sensors or the wiring between them. Symptoms of malfunction. The main P077D fault symptom for the driver is the illuminated MIL, malfunction indicator light. This is also referred to as the check engine or simply the check engine light. It can also manifest as other related fault codes may also be present. The speedometer or tachometer is not working, or is faulty. Gear changes are difficult. Problems shifting gears. The engine does not accelerate well. Jerky or false ignition at idle or under load. The engine may stall or not start. Reduced engine power. Increased fuel consumption. Error P077D is quite serious, as the conditions that caused it can cause damage to the transmission. Causes of the error. The P077D code could mean that one or more of the following problems have occurred. The output shaft speed sensor, OSS, is faulty. The transmission fluid temperature sensor, TFT, has failed. Open, shorted or shorted wiring or connectors in the circuits of the sensors listed. Sometimes the cause is a faulty PCM module. How to eliminate or clear fault code P077D. Some suggested steps for troubleshooting and correcting the P077D error code. Read all stored errors using an OBDI scan tool. Clear the errors and carry out a test drive to see if the P077D error appears again. If the code appears again, inspect the wires and connectors for damage. Test the output shaft speed and transmission fluid temperature sensor input circuits. Replace the faulty sensor if there is a problem. Flash or replace the PCM if necessary. Diagnosing and solving problems. It's worth first looking for the Technical Service Bulletins, TSB, for your specific make of car with error P077D. If the existing problem has been described, following the instructions can save you time and money in diagnosing and correcting the problem. Visually inspect all cables and connectors leading to the output shaft speed and transmission fluid temperature sensor. Carefully inspect for abrasions, exposed wires, or breaks. Also look for melted or otherwise damaged areas. Repair if necessary. Electrical wiring. Check the wiring harness for loose connections, loose wires, or dirty terminals. Disconnect all wiring harness connections from the vehicle, output shaft speed sensor, TFT sensor, and PCM, ECM unit. Using a multimeter on an ohm scale, check for excessive resistance. If the resistance is too high, trace the bundle of wires through the circuit between each connector to determine the cause. If there is resistance, there may be a short circuit to earth. Wiring harnesses should be checked for damage to the wiring harness or areas that can be grabbed by contact with the car chassis. Faulty wiring can often be the cause of error P077D. Output shaft speed sensor. Some vehicles use a plastic gear at the end of the OSS sensor. Remove the OSS sensor and check the condition of the pinion. To determine if any teeth are missing or worn, replace the pinion if necessary. Check the wiring harness for possible signs of damaged cables or loose connections. Measure the resistance by removing the connector and using a digital multimeter adapted to the ohm scale. If the resistance is out of range or above the limit, replace the sensor. Transmission fluid temperature sensor. A faulty transmission fluid temperature (TFT) sensor can also be the cause of error P077D. This is usually seen in vehicles equipped with the TFT sensor installed in line with the OSS sensor. The TFT sensor is also checked for resistance using a multimeter mounted on an ohm scale. If the reading is out of specification or exceeds the limit, replace the TFT sensor inside the gearbox. Check the wiring harness connector for PCM/ECM power, using the factory wiring diagram as a reference. Place a multimeter on the volt scale with the positive lead on the PCM/ECM power cable. And place the negative lead on the ground. In conclusion, understanding and addressing fault code P077D is essential for maintaining your vehicle's performance. By familiarizing yourself with the symptoms and diagnosis of this high-output speed sensor circuit issue, you can take proactive steps to troubleshoot and resolve the problem. Remember to follow the recommended tips for clearing the error code manually and ensure that your vehicle is running smoothly. Regular maintenance and attention to these codes can save you time and money in the long run. Thank you for watching, and we hope this guide has been helpful in navigating the complexities of OBD2 codes.